Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast, the podcast brought to you by Black History Month, Black Superheroes, and Gabby's Loud Ass Baby. My name is Dallas, and personally, I would just like to know if Harrison Ford has ever played a good father.
Hi, my name is Gaby, and I just want to say my loud ass black, baby.
Yes.
I'm Cassie, and I can now say I've had the experience of having my brain aggressively tapped on. It's fun.
Questions to follow.
And I'm Demi, and I just feel like this Black History Month has reminded us that Black history is ever evolving. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we will be reviewing Captain America: Brave New World.
Hey, shout out to Black Cap.
Woo!
This is normally when I'd say so-and-so isn't here. They're doing insert made-up thing that I say. But everyone's here today. Look at us.
Woo!
Showing up for the special occasion of Blackness. Before we get into the episode, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the buttons. Do all the things. Because, like we've been saying a bunch of times, it's Black History Month, and we Black. So support Black business and or hobby. This isn't really a business, but support us. Or you're anti-Black.
It could be a business if you guys liked and subscribed, though.
You could be supporting Black business in the future.
All right, let's get into it.
Captain America: Brave New World. It is directed by Julius Ona, who directed The Cloverfield Paradox and Loose. And it is written by so many people. It's written by Rob Edwards. He wrote Treasure Planet and Princess and the Frog. I didn't know that.
Yo.
Shout out to him.
Love those movies.
Right? It's also written by the writing teams of Malcolm Spellman and Dylan Musan and Julius Ona and Peter Glanz. Malcolm Spellman created Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so it makes sense that he'd be back.
Yeah, he should be involved.
Yeah. The other people write as well. I don't know what they did because there's like 6 of them and they don't all have Wikipedia links, and I was doing this very late notice. The movie stars Anthony Mackie, Danny Ramirez, Shira Haas, Carl Lumley, Zosha Rockmore, Giancarlo Esposito, Liv Tyler, Tim Blake Nelson, and Harrison Ford.
Woo!
And the IMDb summary is Captain America's black now, baby.
Hey!
That's really
I
not.
think actually you'll find
at
the
all.
But for
the
real,
IMDb
though.
summary is sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
Yes, that is the secondary summary.
I feel like that's a better synopsis than what Dallas gave, because the movie doesn't really touch on that very much at all.
Not as much as I expected.
No,
I thought
not
that
at
would
all.
be the movie.
I mean, Falcon the Winter Soldier kind of did.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier did that.
A little bit,
but
yeah.
I was expecting the
Yeah.
movie to do it too, but no.
Mm-mm.
Especially because y'all released it on Black History Month, girl. We know this, like,
Right?
you did it on purpose.
When you say they didn't,
But-
do you mean like they didn't talk about his blackness?
They do, but they don't really do. Like in the comics, when he became Captain America, it was like, he's not my cap. Ah,
Ooh.
I hate
He's black,
Negro.
kill him.
He's black, kill him. Exactly.
How the
And I thought
fanboys
this
were
movie would be
reacting.
more of that. Exactly. It's so funny that they just did exactly what the bad guys did in the comics. Because they're the bad guys. But yeah, the movie was not really focused on that. They mention it in some scenes in a way that I really do like, but
There's a scene at the end
Not
of the
as much
movie
as I
that I
expected.
really, really enjoyed that really
Mhm.
hit home for me, because I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that. I don't think that has anything to do with the rest of the movie, but yeah.
no. Cool though. Initial thoughts. I like this movie a lot, and I figured I would like it a lot, and I'm glad that I did. Demi, what'd you think?
I liked it. I had a good time. I enjoyed my time in the movie theater. Yeah. I don't have much more to say beyond that. I liked it. I felt like it was a movie that was like a mixed bag. Like there was like, at worst, it's fine. And then at best, there were like some really great moments in this movie.
Yeah, it has a lot of great moments, and I think that's what made me like. Because I walked out thinking like, did I really, really like that, or did I just kind of like that? But thinking about the stuff that really got me there, I was like, yeah, I'm rocking with it.
There was a point in the movie where I thought to myself, am I really so invested in these old men stories? Oh my gosh. Like, I was so emotionally invested in Ross's storyline and Bradley's whole situation. I almost cried for both of those men. I was like, excuse me?
I definitely almost
Crazy.
did for Elijah early on in the movie. I'm like, it's too early for them to be trying to break me.
That scene,
Ooh.
I was like, don't do this to him. Leave him alone. Leave that old man
Oh,
alone.
no.
I was in the theater I was tearing up. And then, but the Harrison Ford, I was just like, Harrison Ford came to act. Like, he's not phoning this in. Like, he is putting in work to the point where I was thinking to myself, would this storyline be hitting me as hard as it is if this wasn't Harrison Ford? If William Hurt was still, God rest his soul, around and was doing this same part? Because I have an emotional attachment to Harrison Ford. I've been a fan of his since I was 9 years old. He's Han Solo. He's Indiana Jones. And he's one of our favorite characters on Shrinking. So, like...
Which is funny, because those examples are why I said, has he ever played a good father?
Oh, girl.
And when you said it, I was like, I have to think about it. I'll get back to you later.
The answer is no.
Cassie, you had
he hasn't. We still love him, but I don't know.
Had a question.
Did either of you watch? I don't know if they use the adjective, but I think The Incredible Hulk. Did either of you watch that in the lead up to this?
Not in the lead up, but I've seen it before, and I watched somebody react to it in like recent weeks. So it's
I mostly asked because
I have seen it.
I heard this movie described as sort of a sequel to that in a lot of ways.
It is absolutely a sequel to that. It's funny because
it is, which is wild because that movie came out 17 years ago?
20 years ago. That movie came out when we were in high school.
Yeah, it came out a couple months after Iron Man. It's the second ever MCU movie.
So like 17 years ago.
I've always said that it's the stepchild under the staircase for Marvel movies that nobody talks about, nobody thinks about, especially because like most of the cast hadn't come back except for William Hurt and, until now, Liv Tyler. And I will say that because we announced her name in the credits and because it was announced when she was cast that she would be in the movie. But
yeah, crazy.
I personally went into it already knowing that it was going to be somewhat of a sequel to The Incredible Hulk. We had enough casting announcements to know that a lot of Hulk stuff would be in this movie. So yeah, it's very much a sequel to Captain America movies while also being a sequel to The Incredible Hulk movies, which is something that the MCU has to do sometimes, in the same way that in the same way that that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is a sequel to Doctor Strange, but also a sequel to WandaVision.
Yeah. We've gotten to that point with the MCU.
And it's not always my favorite thing about the MCU. Sometimes
I just want to watch something.
Like the more you have to be
in
a subscriber to Disney Plus to watch a movie that's coming out in theaters, I'm like, all right, man. But at least this is a movie. It came out a very long time ago. But yeah, once they said Tim Blake Nelson, I'm like, oh, snap, they're bringing him back? This is a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy that they brought Tim Blake Nelson back.
I thought that the movie had a good story. Like I said, writing, like sometimes the movie was just fine. Sometimes it was incredible. There are several emotional moments that I just thought were fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it had its ups and its downs, but like in no worse than any other Marvel movie. Like,
yeah, it's in the, there's so many, but it's definitely not one of the worst ones for me.
It's in the mid-range.
I feel like, and I feel like because of Bradley, the story hits me a lot harder. Like the scene we were talking about early on, and obviously when you're dealing with stuff like his whole character is based around is based kind of like in real African American history. So then when you have that scene in the beginning and it kind of plays into African American present as well, I just like, oof, what a way to start things off.
Yeah.
But I do like the relationship between him and Cap and even Joaquin, who I love. Like their whole group dynamic was great.
Because Joaquin is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but he's not in it very much. He kind of takes a backseat to Bucky and Cap being partners. Bucky and Sam being partners. And in this movie, I loved Sam and Joaquin's relationship. I love how much of a little, like almost an annoying little brother that Joaquin is. He's a lot of fun. He's a good energy to inject into the movie. Because Sam and Steve had very much a brotherly relationship, a very different type of brotherly relationship, but Sam was very clearly the younger brother of that situation in a different sort of way. And now Sam kind of has his own. And I like how they are continuing on the legacy of Captain America in this way. I do find it interesting that we have decided that Captain America movies nowadays must have a Captain America, must have a Falcon, and for some reason must have a Black Widow.
Yeah, Kayla was saying that when can't remember, like Ruth, I think is the character's name.
Her name is Ruth, yeah.
When they brought up the fact that she was a widow, it's like, oh, he has a widow too, just like we had one in Winter Soldier.
Not as fun of one.
No. But she did her thing.
She has one really good scene that I enjoy, where she comes in at the tail end of the scene, and I was like, oh, now you guys have written in a personality for her to have. Where was this earlier on in the film?
Right. She's kind of just like, I am security.
Yeah. No shade to the actress, because the actress is doing what she can with what they've written for her. But like, for sure, she doesn't really get to show a lot of personality and charisma until like one particular scene. And it's very late into the movie.
It's good to know that they have a widow, though.
No, it's not. As a widow fan, we don't need them everywhere.
I like it.
You can't just slap widow onto anybody.
I feel like they're trying to go for familiarity, right? Because they have to convince.
Well, in the comic books, she's a mutant.
So here's the interesting thing is that there was, and everybody's been talking about the reshoots and everything. Even this movie has a new name because the other name was, it's a bit sticky. But some of the things, it was going to be New World Order. Mm-hmm. But like that's a term that has been co-opted by like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. And along with that, her character is originally a Mossad agent from Israel.
Oh,
and they're like, well, let's not do Mossad. Let's say she's a widow instead. So I feel like they're like, who else is good at killing people? Let's go with widows. We've established that already.
Yeah.
But
and also we've established that they hang out sometimes with Cap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not how she starts out in this movie, but yeah, sure.
No, she's worse.
Okay, fair.
But
I don't know because I didn't see it.
For a movie with like the amount of reshoots and rewrites and all the things that they've talked about, I think they did a really good job putting this together.
It came out good.
Yeah, because I am disappointed that Seth Rollins and Rosa Salazar are not in the movie because they were both going to be part of Serpent.
Oh,
Seth Rollins was going to be
wondering.
Sidewinder, and Rosa was going to be Diamondback, which is funny because Marvel already has a Diamondback, and he's an old black man. But
yeah, that is correct.
But we got Giancarlo Esposito.
I'm not going to complain about that.
I'm never going to complain about Giancarlo Esposito.
He was really good in this movie for the small amount of time he's there.
And speaking of old black men, Giancarlo's interesting because in most of his roles, he has that very stoic delivery, that calm, kind of just nothing phases me. And in this movie, at least in some of the scenes, he sounded blacker. Like when he runs up on Sam with the cars, the way he's talking, I was like, they're letting Giancarlo really be black. Like, nice. I can't remember the line he says, but it was and he was talking about the buyer. He was like, they told me there was a 70% chance that you was going to try to talk me down. And I was like, I like this. This is interesting. He don't really talk like this in his movies anymore.
We need to wrap this up, but before we do, I do want to talk about, because it's so interesting, because we've talked about the movie like kind of in like a very general sense of like things that are in the movie and, not so much in the opinions of like technicalities or anything like that. Visually, I like the look of this movie. I think that a lot of the times we talk about how Marvel movies look very similar, and I think the thing that we're having this year is that I think all three of these Marvel movies that are coming out look very different from one another and from the other Marvel movies, to be fair. I really enjoyed like the color palette of the film. I liked what they were doing with the lights. I kind of wish that they had done more with the strobing lights that we had in the trailers that they were using a lot. Thought that was really cool. But they do use it a little bit in this movie, and it looks really good. I thought that was a really good aesthetic touch to differentiate it from other Captain America movies, but still making it look like a political thriller, right?
Yeah.
The CGI was pretty good. The Hulk looked really good. Red Hulk looks so good.
He looks like a big, swole, red Harrison Ford.
He does.
They did a really good job with that.
They did a great job with that. I love that we finally get reference to the big celestial in the middle of the ocean.
I was going to say, shout out to you, Demi. You got some connection to Eternals.
Got
that
some
big ass thing. It's been there for years.
And tiny minor spoiler alert, but we got to hear Harrison Ford say the word adamantium and introduce it to the MCU, which is crazy.
Excuse me? We said what now? I knew it. I knew it.
But
somebody also hinted at it. They were like, that Celestial has something to do with Wolverine. And I was like, they're not about to bring adamantium into this.
We weren't going to hear about the Celestial until various governments learned that it had resources that they could exploit. And then...
yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
That's how the world works. There's a great cameo in this movie that I think is used to great emotional impact.
Yeah. I love that one. Oh, speaking of the visuals and the lights, the logo is different. They don't do the Marvel Studios.
Yeah, they gave them the one that they have in their trailer.
I was like, oh, it's funny because I didn't even really think about the fact that the other one wasn't there. But I was like, this feels really different. But I liked it. It fit the vibe.
Jesse noticed it too. And I was like, I like the fact that they changed it for this. Like, I would rather you have more, like logos that like fit the aesthetic of the movie. If if you've got a good idea for that.
Like when they did Werewolf by Night and it was all old timey and spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It will
Dude, I
help
forgot
people
that
not
existed.
say like they're all the same, blah blah blah. Like show that they're different, including the vibe and the logos and the marketing.
Yeah. Personally, I think that this was a good start to Marvel's year. This is our first year in a couple of years that we're having 3 Marvel movies in a year. Last year we only had 1. This year we've got 3, and I think this is a good start to the year.
I agree. Also, the action is really, really dope.
Yes, it
I
is.
very much enjoyed the way he fights with the shield and the wings.
I love that. The choreography
Ooh.
was really good for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked his relationship with Joaquin for that too.
Same.
Question. So they did let him keep the wings. I know canonically he does, but I'm just...
Yeah.
I know he did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. I'm just checking.
He got to stay fly, Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, you stay fly,
Gotta stay fly.
so high. You know this.
Yeah, like I also like the look of his suit too, as well.
Same.
Got rid of the cowl because Anthony Mackie apparently hated it while working on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But
Got
Understandable.
suit looks
High-ass
crisp,
neck.
looks clean.
It does.
Looking forward to Falcon getting his more official suit.
Yeah.
Mm.
You think he'll turn
Joaquin
into a
with that.
bird?
You think
You
he'll
said what?
turn into a bird?
Yeah, apparently that's a thing that happens in the comics.
I don't think he'll turn
I
into
mean,
a bird because Marvel
probably not.
Marvel is funny enough, like fantastical, but still so real world bound that I don't think that would happen.
I mean, listen. Nobody wants to acknowledge it, but we do have Terrigen Mist. Is that what it's called?
Yes, we do have Terrigen Mist.
Yeah.
If you're an Inhuman, I don't think he is an Inhuman.
Oh, girl. The Inhumans, I forgot that even happened.
I miss them so
It's how
much.
they
good
want.
they buried it. And I never watched it, so
Good.
that's how
Lucky
good
you.
they buried it.
They did a good job.
They hurt my favorite royal family.
But cool. Yeah. Good stuff. We liked it.
It was good. Had a great time. Yeah, I had fun, and I look forward to the rest of the year that we've got with Marvel. I look forward to the rest of the year that we have with superheroes in general. I feel like this is a really good year for superhero movies
Yeah.
because Superman's
forward
also
to it.
coming out this year. So
Mm-hmm.
superhero content in general. We've also got Daredevil coming out really soon, and
Yes.
the Spider-Man show
Spider-Man
has
got a show
started,
on
which
right now.
I haven't watched, but I have heard is great. Invincible's on right now.
It's a good time to be a fan of the cape stuff.
I love me some cape shit. All right, so moving on. 10-minute takes. Cassie,
10-minute takes.
what did you watch
Hello.
10 minutes of?
All right, so thanks to a random number generator and Dallas's diligent updating of the list, thank you. I
Hey.
watched the first 10 minutes of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Prime Video series, not the movie.
Oh, the
Just so
Prime,
that we're clear.
the Prime Video.
I would
series.
assume it's not the movie. We have a whole movie reaction to that
Yeah, we
if you
did that
have
already.
not seen it.
Want to clarify since they have the same title.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I was over here thinking it was the movie, so
Gabby does not pay attention to our content.
At all.
sorry.
We got spies. We got dead spies and then replacement spies.
Oh, yeah. Most of that 10 minutes has got to be like Asa Gonzalez and Alexander Skarsgård,
Not
right?
most. That's like the first 3 minutes. It's
Okay.
pretty quick, actually. And then we cut to Maya Erskine and Donald Glover answering questions in a strange room. That's most of the 10 minutes. Is like them answering questions and then both arriving separately at their like new house. I assume it's a
Abode.
house. I don't actually know. Yeah, I mean, it starts out with an action scene, so you're not just like sitting there like, Alexander Skarsgård got shot through both cheeks and died instantly. Sorry that you,
So
if you
gross.
liked him.
Sorry to that man.
Spoilies.
Yeah, it was he didn't even get to do nothing. But yeah, spies. They're spying. It's about all I can tell you. Like, if you don't know what it is, you wouldn't know what it was because you just see this couple get murdered and then this other couple answering some questions separately. But, they're going to be spies. They'll do some spy stuff.
Do they have any interaction with each other in the first 10 minutes?
No. They're
that's
answering questions. You can see them like answering the same question, but obviously at different
Yeah,
times in
I
different
remember
rooms. And no, because she gets to the place before he does. And so she like goes in, gets in an elevator, goes somewhere, I don't know where. And he comes in and he just like is walking around, but you don't see them together at all.
All right, well, what do you think of the questions? The shooting and the survey scenes?
It's fine. Like, I'm not really into spies. I don't find spies to be all that interesting. So this isn't really changing my mind on that. But Maya Erskine's fun. Donald Glover's fun. Like, it wasn't bad. It was just like, yeah,
Right.
they're answering these slightly quirky questions. If I didn't know that it had to do with being spies, I'd be really intrigued of like, what is this? What? He's killed 13 people. But then I'm like, yeah, they're spies. They be killing.
Right.
Black
Killing
lad.
people. Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting. It's, as is the case with probably 95% of 10-minute takes is the reason for watching the show is not going to be in the first 10 minutes. I mean, if you're into spies, like that gunfight in the beginning is interesting and it's very entertaining.
I mean,
But,
it's
like-
very brief, but
Yeah, but like this show is mostly about their relationship in the setting of them being spies.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got like 0% of that.
Yeah.
But cool, glad you watched. I will knock it off the list and add something else.
yeah, because we got I think 6 on there now with this off.
Yeah.
So
Whenever we hit 5, I'm like, I gotta start adding things. But dope.
Does anybody else have like a what you've been watching?
So I'm just going to list some things I'm watching that are dope and say, hey, you might like this if blank.
Cool. I like that idea.
Yeah. And I'm watching, man, so many things. I'm watching Abbott Elementary. I recommend it if you like sitcoms and or black people. I am watching Mythic Quest. I recommend it if you like comedy, video games, and or Always Sunny, shows where everybody's terrible.
Dysfunctional families.
Yeah, great stuff. I'm only one episode into the new season of Harley Quinn, but it's like season 5, so I have an idea of what the show is.
I'm a week behind, but I'm probably going to catch up like today or tomorrow. Fantastic. Love that show. And having a great time in Metropolis this season.
I recommend it. It's like season 5, so you know what Harley Quinn is. But good stuff. Severance. Oh my God, Severance is so good.
I tried Severance.
Did you?
Couldn't get into it. I watched
It
the
doesn't
first
seem like your thing.
4 episodes, and I was like, yeah, this is not interesting to me.
Yeah, I didn't put that on your list because I was like, this doesn't seem like a Cassie type show. And to be honest, with the show and how weird it is, I'm not really sure to say like I recommend it if blank. Just it's
so
good
weird
and weird. And if you like good and weird
and unsettling
and like Office Space, the movie,
yeah,
then I recommend Severance.
and there's like way too many comedians in it for it to be this.
It's called acting,
Not
Gabby.
To be like
funny?
not a comedy.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep waiting for like a punchline, and it's not. It's just
That's how people feel about The Bear.
the bear be
Well,
funny
The
though.
Bear's a family drama.
That's I
You're
mean, how
right,
much of
though.
that is that? Is Severance called a comedy in the way that The Bear is?
No,
I think it's called
Severance
a-
is not marketed as a comedy. It's a drama.
Okay,
Really? I thought it was a dark
It
comedy.
shouldn't
Okay,
be,
that makes more
but
sense.
that makes
But
sense.
also, again, either way, there's too many actors that are like funny.
Let them expand their
Normally.
horizons, Gabby.
They
Hey,
want
And
want
it's
to
also
flex.
directed by Ben Stiller.
that's an
Like,
interesting. Yeah, that's like I was like, huh? But it is
Yeah.
listed as a science fiction psychological thriller. So
Okay.
The show's a
not gonna
sci-fi
change
show?
up. It is a sci-fi.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
very
sci-fi show.
I mean, the basic premise is pretty sci-fi.
I thought this was just a regular office show, but
No.
a drama.
No.
Wait, do you not know the main
No.
thing
I know
about Severance?
nothing about this show at all,
Oh,
except that
okay.
people
Girl,
talk about
let's
it all the
tell
time.
you.
Don't tell me. Maybe I should. No, don't tell me. I'm just gonna come back to the podcast having watched like an episode and just go, okay, well,
Sure.
that was not what I thought it was.
That'll be fun. I think that'll be a fun thing for you.
My
Ooh.
big problem with Severance, and this is not actually about the show itself, but Severance follows the same track as like Succession, where I see like gift sets and screenshots, and it's like, yeah, this could be cool, but it's just a bunch of people in suits.
Gabby's baby did not agree with that, and I don't either. I'm on the same team as Gabby's baby. But yeah, when Demi watches Severance, we'll come back and talk about it, and then I will talk about why I disagree with Cassie.
Cool.
Finishing off my list, I also am watching Invincible. It is great. I recommend it if you like superheroes and very, 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 very violent things. Mo, hilarious comedy.
Oh,
I
Mo's
recommend
back.
If you like kind of like the Atlanta style comedy, like Rami, not quite as problematic as Rami because Rami's a scumbag and Mo seems like a decent dude. Not the man in real life, obviously, the character. The character Rami is a scumbag.
on the show, Rami.
Yeah. But yeah, very funny,
And
very
Dave.
Houston based. Kind of like Dave too, but yeah, Dave is also kind of a scumbag. Yeah,
So
but you know,
Mo
that
is not
type.
a scumbag.
No, it's like that type
Okay.
of comedy that's been coming out a lot more lately.
I might want to watch more of it then.
And Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Great show. I recommend if you like Spider-Man, superheroes, and things that are annoying and or woke.
Sir. Sir. And you know that's exactly why I haven't been watching it yet. I have to
I know.
get past what that man said.
Yes, to clarify, the show is not annoying. It is woke, and it is great. The person who plays Spider-Man said something stupid about being worried that the show would be annoying and woke, which was interesting because it is woke by most measures. So, like, I don't know if you're the type of person to worry about that. I don't know why you would watch the show and be like, no, it wasn't that. But
What do you
What-
mean by woke?
You know
Like,
what they
it's got
what they mean.
Black people in it.
Know what they mean.
It examines
The
social
existence of
structures.
people who aren't cishet white men is mostly what I think it boils down to.
Yeah.
Gabby, have you been watching anything, or actually, better yet, for you, reading anything?
I've been reading hella things. Girl,
Oh, shit, we can talk
I'm
about what
trying to
we're reading.
average
Hello.
about 6 books. Wait, what?
Yes, you can
Okay.
talk about reading, Cassie.
Yeah, I've done that before.
This is
What you
anyway,
doing,
so
the technical name of this section is what you've been doing, what you've been reading, what you've been watching. It's what you've been doing, basically, and we cut it down to
Yeah.
what you've been watching, just to make it easier.
Y'all two
on
niggas just
ourselves.
don't read as much, I guess is what it is.
This is a grab bag section.
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost, I decided to finally do my fourth wing read /
Welcome to
reread.
the party.
Hello. Okay, so I have read Fourth Wing. I audiobooked it because I was like, this is a long ass book and I don't feel like reading it right now. I feel like listening to it. And it was a lot better to listen to for me because there were some things that I didn't know how to pronounce. And so now I kind of do. Like Basgaeth. Didn't know how to pronounce that. I called it Basgaeth.
I actually don't
And now
remember what I think I used to call it Basquiat before I found out how it was actually pronounced.
the relief is that I was pronouncing Zayden's name right the whole time.
I don't know how you could get that wrong. So let's just start there.
No, Zayden Ryerson. Anyway, now I'm on to Iron Flame, which is book 2. I'm about 150 pages in, and the conspiracy is conspiracying, and I love it. Okay, the plot is plotting because that was the thing about the first book. You're really like, where is this going? Because especially if you read the first book knowing there's sequels, because you're like, where is this going? I get that she's just trying to get through her first year of school, but like, what is the plot? What is the arc that we're going to be following? And you do not get the arc until the very end. So this book is like, let's hit the ground running with this arc.
I highly recommend paying attention to very small details because there are things that I didn't notice that Rebecca Yarros had written in the first book that she then brings back in the third book. And I was like, oh my God.
Girly pop. This is why we got to reread. Okay.
And this is why I did reread. I reread both books before reading Onyx Storm.
Oof, they do that in Akatar too. But anyway, so basically I'm reading that. I also recently read, my favorite author is Ali Hazelwood. She is a romance author. She is 10 out of 10. It's it's not sci-fi. It's STEM romance, which is now a genre. And in this particular STEM romance, this one was kinky, which the other ones
What
are
a
just
surprise.
like vanilla sex. But it was just so good. It was like, and it brought back a lot of memories because it was about a swimmer and a diver, and I was a competitive swimmer. I was a club swimmer where like I swam with people that were going to go to the Olympics.
Nice.
Yeah, and some of my coaches were like gold medalists. Like one of them was a gold medalist for Canada. The other was a gold medalist in Atlanta. Like that was the level of people that I wasn't this good.
Yeah.
Guys. I knew exactly where I stood, which was I was not going to the Olympics. But I worked with, or like I swam around people that for sure were going to at least go to the trials. I swam with people that made the team, even as like alternates. So like I didn't personally know them, but like you were around them and you knew the level of work that they put in. And so this book really brought back those memories and like that sort of vibe and what it was like being an athlete when like literally all you did was like sleep and go to the pool and go home and do schoolwork.
Right.
I was a student athlete in high school too. So it brought back that sort of vibe of it all, where I was like at swim meets a couple times a week. So it was kind of nice and weird and so many feelings. And it was kinky as shit and I liked it. Well, not super crazy kinky. It was like baby's first kink.
No,
Book. But it
the
was
shallow
really
end of the kink
good.
pool.
Yeah, it was on the shallow end. Certainly. It was approachable. You're so dumb. Anyway, so that's what I've been reading. I'm most excited about continuing on my Empyrean series read because that's what the Fourth Wing series is called. It's called the Empyrean series. The dragons are called the Empyrean.
Oh,
Some
that's why it's
people
called
don't know that. Some
That was
people
me.
don't know that.
that. I'm people.
No, also people that read Fourth Wing.
Yeah, they
don't
also
know.
don't know that. Yeah, which is why I don't call it the Empyrean series because most people will not know what I'm talking about. That's why our Fourth Wing episode
No.
is called Fourth Wing Fancast and not the Empyrean series Fancast.
Yeah,
Right.
at Romans, I was like, do you guys have the Empyrean series books? And they were like, what are those? And I was like, the first one's called Fourth Wing. And they're like, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I was like, got it. Just like, I don't think Akatar is called Akatar, but whatever.
Yeah, that's
we
just
all
the name of
call
the first book, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to make this super quick. I finished reading Onyx Storm. It was fantastic. I had an amazing time reading that book, and I cannot wait to reread it. I don't know if that one's my favorite or if Fourth Wing is my favorite of the 3 books that we have so far. But I really love the character work that Rebecca does in Onyx Storm and how much we got to know a number of like side characters who we've known for a while, but just getting to know them a little bit more and getting more depth into them and kind of giving them their own small arcs. I also just finished reading the most recent Percy Jackson book, which was a lot of fun. It's so funny because like the Percy Jackson books are going from Onyx Storm and finishing that, and then the day after reading Percy Jackson, that's like a really big like tonal shift from like adult novel to
Makes sense.
middle school reading. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Percy Jackson books, I love those books. I am a grown adult reading middle school books because the Percy Jackson books are great. So this current trilogy that Rick Riordan is writing is about Percy trying to collect 3 college recommendation letters so that he can go off to New Rome University so that he can be with Annabeth.
Aww.
Each book is about him getting one of those recommendation letters. In this second book, he gets a request from Hecate to pet sit for her, and things go awry. But that's a lot of fun, and I feel like it's a different way of doing a Percy Jackson adventure because usually I like that this trilogy is a much smaller, more personal storyline of Percy trying to do a normal, ordinary, like teenage thing of getting a college recommendation, but it requires such extreme god mythic like things in order for him to get the recommendation. And I think that that's a really fun contrast, but it's also very personal because we get to stay in New York and he gets to stay around his family. Rick is definitely dedicated to making Sally Jackson one of the most interesting characters in the Percy Jackson series as of the 2020s. I love that for us. It's great because we find out some stuff about her in this book. That was a lot of fun. To finish us off, The White Lotus is back, so let's jet set, people. Season 3 is here. We are in Thailand this season, and funny enough, one of my fan casts for Violet Sorrengail in the Fourth Wing books, or in the Empyrean books, as we were just saying, Sarah Catherine Hook is one of the leads on this season. So I'm having a great time.
She's
Piper.
She's Malfoy's daughter.
Yes, she's Malfoy's daughter. Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
But yeah, and she's already starting off fantastic. And the season's already starting off. The season starts off with a bang, quite literally.
Yay.
Yeah, I watched the first episode right before we started recording, and I can't wait for more. I love this show. This show is so well written, and I don't know what made Mike White want to write this show, but thank goodness he decided to, because it's such an interesting look into, like, it's a show about people going on vacation, right? It's about the haves and the have-nots, and the way that Mike White explores that is very interesting, especially since it usually ends up in somebody dying. So,
yep.
I love shows that involve rich people and death. I can't explain it. I don't know. Same thing happened with Big Little Lies. I loved that show. Once they were like, it's about these rich women, but murder. And I was like, oh, you guys didn't tell me that part.
Sign me up.
Fascinating. I am intrigued. I feel the same way about The White Lotus. Rich people, but murder. Oh, but murder in very nice countries that also happen to, like, the show also touches on like colonization and like tourist colonization, which is so fascinating. I love it because they did it with Hawaii the first season. Last season was, where were we last season? Italy. We were in Italy last season, and this season is Thailand. So very interesting.
And Michael Imperioli was in the last season.
Yeah. And getting to see like these different locations that I've never seen before, like in such depth, is like really nice, right? Like I've never seen Thailand like filmed in such a way before. So it's really cool.
I have to point this out whenever it applies. Mike White from Pasadena.
Hey!
Oh!
The man who gave us
Big
School of Rock is from Pasadena?
Apparently so. Love that for us.
You know what? I'm going to throw in a what you been whatever the fuck, because let's talk about Force Fem in a basement.
Let's talk about what in the basement?
I don't get to talk to cis people about this because no cis people read it. But Force Fem in a basement.
Force Fem.
Force Fem, are you not familiar?
I'm
You
not.
can tell I'm not by the tone of my
Why?
voice.
Cis people. Wild. Force Fem is the act of force feminizing a man. Feminizing by force.
So
Is this like baby girlification? Like, I don't understand.
No, because baby girl is a state of mind, I feel like.
Okay.
This is a state of body and mind.
So this is like, when you say feminization, is it
Yeah.
like physical or like
Mhm.
gender identity? I don't know how you
The
could force someone into
physical
that.
kind of creates the gender identity.
So like you turn a man into a woman.
Yes. In a basement.
I just Googled Force Fem in the basement and it says, catch me at the Force Fem basement group chat. Unlucky victim, the estrogen is kicking in, sad face. Feminized lad, I'm tired of being chained to the radiator. Repressing random. It's normal, right? This is fine. Australian Dave, crikey. I think I'm turning into a Sheila.
Sheila.
God, the number of lock them in a basement jokes I've seen. Anyway,
Okay.
Gabby has a raptor for a child. But anyway, Force Fem in a Basement is actually called Welcome to Dorley Hall, but everybody talks about it as the Force Fem in a Basement book because it's Force
Makes
Fem in a
sense.
Basement. It's great. Ooh, that book made me cry so many times, but like in a good way. Because hey, sometimes you want to get force femmed in a basement. Sometimes it's not really
Girl.
forceful. Listen. They take care of like everything. They give you the hormones. They give you money for clothes. I think they give you voice training lessons. I'm not sure how the girls. Listen, lock me in a basement. I don't care.
Question.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go your
Is
question
this a-
first.
Is this a book and is it by Stephen King? And what is it called?
How dare you? Yes, it's a book. No, it's not by Stephen King. Are you fucking kidding me? Disgusting.
Okay,
Stephen
because
King don't know nothing about that.
Old ass
okay,
bitch.
what is this called?
Welcome to Dorley Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, Dorley. I heard Welcome to Dairy Hall.
Oh, that makes sense.
You didn't know
That sounds like Stephen King.
Pennywise is force femming kids in the sewers.
Yeah. The clown is.
Girl, something did come up for like children. Okay, Welcome to Dorley Hall. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
well, you do that. I have my question.
What's
What
up, dog?
genre is this book, Cassie?
What genre is Dorley? It's part mystery, part. I guess it's
All right.
mystery is the best I can do because there is
Got it.
because it starts with a character trying to figure out like, hey, this friend of mine kind of disappeared. What the fuck? That's kind of the premise, but that quickly turns into, oh shit, I'm in the Force Fem basement and this is wild. But then also you get the perspective of some of the girls who have already been Force Femmed. So their thing is a whole different thing. But I guess mystery is the best I could give you. If you were a cis person who was comfortable being cis, you could call it like a psychological thriller, but
I just feel like we can never let the like Fox News crowd find out
They
about
can
this.
never know about this.
Because this is
It's
what they're afraid
fiction.
of. They're like, if you
it's fiction.
read books to kids, they'll turn into trans people.
Yeah, this is literally like they kidnap boys, men. They're, I think Stefan's like 20. Lock them in a basement and force fem them.
This is gonna be on Fox News next week. Someone's gonna hear this
The
premise
book's been
and be
out
like,
for 3
they're
years.
locking them in
Like,
basements.
If they didn't
It
know
came
by
out in
now,
2022.
yeah, like if they didn't know by now, we've
They're
kept
not a
the
quick
secret.
crowd, Gabby. They're not a quick crowd.
So
Anyway.
the tags on this genre are mystery, thriller, suspense, Bildungsroman, I don't know what that is, transgender fiction, and psychological fiction.
I would say
All right.
that counts, except for the long, probably German word. A novel dealing with one person's formative years or spiritual education. Is that what we're calling it? I would just call it an egg fic, but that's me. But yeah, read the Force Fem in a Basement book. It's real good.
Nice.
All right, we're
I don't know
somehow
where to
going to
go
move
from
into trailer tracking.
Yes.
Going back to Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fantastic Four, first steps. A lot of alliteration. Forced Femme, Fantastic Four, first step. A lot of F's. Love it. I'm so excited for this movie. If
Same.
Ryan Coogler wasn't dropping that heat this year, then this would be the movie I'm looking forward to the most this year.
Yep.
I will say that the more that I see of it, and the closer we get to the movie, the more excited I get for it. I think that the casting rumors just went on for so long that it just became draining.
Okay.
But now that we're close, I'm very, very excited. Eben as the Thing is one of my favorite things about this trailer.
Cousin is in the kitchen again.
When he was like, I'm going to add some more garlic.
A little bit of zip.
I'm like, are we in?
I was like, it's his cousin.
I was like, his cousin?
It's his cousin if he was a rock.
He was like cousin to the robot. I'm going to add a little more garlic.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. It also looks really good, like visually just stunning.
Mhm.
And so when I went to go see Captain America, I was very excited to see the Marvel trailers, like I went to go see it in IMAX, so I was excited to see them on an IMAX screen. And unfortunately, they played us the 3D versions of the trailers and not the.
Oh,
Don't know what happened there. From what I can tell through the 3D, fuzziness of what I was looking at, the shots look incredible in IMAX. Like the ones that they chose to do in IMAX, like the shot of Johnny in the air, in the atmosphere above the earth in IMAX.
And he's about to
sick.
go floating back.
Him flying through the air in his flame form. That looks good in IMAX. Galactus obviously is going to look sickening in IMAX.
yeah, I really like that shot of Galactus.
Dallas, I haven't actually gotten to talk to you about this trailer because you were avoiding watching it. So it's been like 2 weeks since this trailer came out. What did you think of the trailer? I mean, you said it's like your most anticipated film outside of Sinners coming out.
Yes. So when it first came on, and I'm very glad that I managed to avoid all these trailers until I was in the theater watching Captain America. I forgot, because I hadn't seen this one. So I was like, what is this? And then they walk in and talk about, welcome to the Baxter Building. I was like, oh, right, it's that. But like the vibe, it's funny because Kayla pointed this out. She says it reminds her of The Incredibles.
I was going to say, it's very Incredibles.
I think that's great because The Incredibles is the best Fantastic Four movie. And I'm really hoping that it reminds me of that in more ways than one. But yeah, I'm very hyped. Cousin with the garlic was great. Even the little bit of dialogue we get about like Ben's always been a rock, Johnny's always been Johnny. I'm right here.
So good. It's one of it's my favorite moment of the trailer, and I cannot wait to see that. I feel like this is probably the first Fantastic Four movie that really goes into like these people have these powers because of who they are as people. Like the power shows them based on their personalities, right? So like Sue is invisible because I think it's because Reed never really gave her the time or the attention until this event happened. But also she's a shield. Like she shields people. She protects the people that she loves.
I love the concept. Sue's invisibility because Reed is a shitty husband.
Exactly. It's like she says about Johnny. Johnny is Johnny.
Right.
Ben has always been a rock, so he turns into a rock. And I look forward to seeing Reed's powers in effect.
Yeah, I wish we'd seen some stretch.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe they're just not done with that effect yet, so they just don't want to show it to the people yet before it's like, it looks good, because every other effect looks amazing. This is my favorite live action iteration of Sue Storm's ability. The light refraction that they're using for her powers, it looks so good.
Yeah, it does look really good. Yeah, just like the little bit of things that we've gotten, like John Malkovich showing up looking like long legs. I don't know who he's playing. But I was like, oh.
Question.
That's a look. What's your question?
Do we know who the bad guy is?
Yes. Galactus.
Oh.
You were wrangling the raptor when we talked about it.
Big nigga, eats planets.
Yeah, my little raptor.
Yeah, big head, big.
I'm looking forward to seeing your girl Julia Garner play Silver Surfer.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Not in this trailer.
She is not.
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe.
I keep forgetting she's going to be the Silver Surfer.
But Galactus means the herald must arrive, so.
Exactly.
That's true.
Also, I'm excited for Sue Storm because of the Marvel Rivals crowd. I'm not playing the game, but I am seeing a lot about it. And they thirsting heavy.
It's gonna be horny. Yeah, knew that's where that was
going. It's going to be horny as hell when this movie comes out. Like, it already would
beautiful.
be. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time on the internet. It's already a fun time on the internet.
It's always an interesting time on the internet, that's for certain. Also, directed by Matt Jackman, who gave us WandaVision.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Ooh, we're going to be in so many feelings.
But sooner than Fantastic Four, we have the Thunderbolts coming out in May. That's the one I'm most excited to see because it's got some of my favorite Marvel characters in it, and I've been dying for a Thunderbolts movie since like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the look of this trailer. I love the look of the movie. It's very much giving teal orange aesthetic. Heavy and hard, but it looks good for this film.
The city shots are giving so much gray. There's a third color in there.
It's but it's teal. Its underbase is teal, and it looks good. I love the fact that they are not showing us who the villain is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do we know?
If you know comic books, you know who it is, and I will not say for those who don't know who it is.
I will say that
I'm gonna ask you after
this is a character I never thought I'd see in a movie. Like before the announcement of who's in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, them? But that's a cool, like, I like that. It kind of feels like the most, and it's obvious because, Suicide Squad has already come out, but it feels like the most like James Gunny thing that we're getting from Marvel since he left to DC.
Crazy.
I'm hoping the movie follows the tone of the trailer because I really love the tone of the trailer. I like the comedy, but I also really like the sentimental moments that they're putting in this trailer. Like, it feels like this movie has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to the dynamics between these characters and how they behave with one another, especially because so many of them have like similar histories of being soldiers for other people and being under the whims of other people. Obviously, these trailers have been focused very heavily on Yelena because Yelena has become such a fan favorite since Black Widow came out. I think this trailer gave us a lot more Bucky this time around, possibly because of Sebastian Stan's Oscar nomination and his recent award run. Or at least I think he was nominated for an Oscar. Was he nominated for an Oscar?
I think for The Apprentice. Let me double check.
I think he was.
Well,
but I know that he is
currently for something.
Yeah, I know he's on an awards run though. So, like, yeah, you want to.
He won a Golden Globe, I think.
Yeah, so you want to promote your actor who like just got a bunch of awards. Also, Bucky is a huge fan favorite. He's somebody that most of the Marvel fandom will know because he's been here so long. But it also looks like, because there is so much material of John Walker and of Ghost in promo photos, they're in most of the scenes of this trailer, even if they're not talking. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing how they interact with one another and also how their story arcs all go together throughout this story.
Yes. So speaking of character interactions, I will say first, I feel like we kind of we're the inverse of each other in Fantastic Four and Thunderbolt, because this trailer is the first time that I've actually really been looking forward to Thunderbolts. And I think part of that is Red Guardian and Bucky had a What If Buddy episode on this new season.
I didn't finish that season.
It was delightful. It's so good. And I want to see them together. And I love David Harbour.
A buddy episode?
Yeah, it's great. I think that kind of stuff, like the stuff you said, the comedic tone is what makes me really look forward to it. Like the lamp shading when Yelena says, "So what, we all shoot and punch." And it's like, yeah, for the most part. But
one of you walks through walls and turns invisible, but you know.
Exactly. One of you is a ghost. But like, it's one of those things that if you do the movie well and do the writing and the characters well, I don't really care about the nonsense of people who shoot and punch fighting, spoiler redacted, because knowing who that villain is, oh boy.
It does make me more interested to see how they gonna fight that villain, but you know.
Yeah, but speaking of John Walker, like you brought up earlier, I think he's definitely going to be one of those characters for me that grows on me because...
I think he's going to be a Peacemaker style of character.
Yeah, and even that is just like, the way I kind of look at it is Doctor Strange. Like when I saw Doctor Strange, I was like, this guy's fine. But then I saw him in other projects and I liked him more in everything else. Mm-hmm. And like when I saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, John Walker, I'm like, yeah, Ryan Russell's good actor. But then seeing this trailer, I'm like, I think I'm going to like this character more. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that.
We weren't meant to like him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, but even as like an antagonist, I didn't really find him to be that interesting.
Yeah, Carly was the more interesting antagonist.
Yeah, he's just, fake hat.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what they do with it. Also, I've been interested to see what they do with Ava, obviously, because I've been a Hannah John Kamen fan for 10 years as of this summer. So to really like celebrate that with Thunderbolts is going to be very interesting. But I've been interested to see how Ghost turns out just as a character, because Ant-Man and the Wasp is just a movie where her entire character is just, her personality is, I don't want to die. Right. So I'm curious as to like, what's your personality and what is your dynamic with people now that you're able to A, socialize with people, and B, you are no longer worried about dying every second of every day, and you're most likely not in pain in every second of every day. So like, what is your personality and who do you choose to be as a person? And I think that's also kind of like the point of the whole movie, is all these people deciding who they want to be as people, because they don't want to be villains.
Right.
I'm excited, like on a character level and just like on multiple levels, just like this is for me. It was made for me. Mm-hmm. So, yippee.
Definitely. I want to know if they're going to give Taskmaster a personality, because, given that character's backstory. If she
survives the movie.
Yep. I mean, that's true. They have not been promoting her.
She's not doing a whole lot in the trailer, but
yeah. And they threw her in as like a last minute in the trailer.
If she has a personality, that would be nice. If not, if you kill her off.
Yeah.
They could die every day, B.
I also love how unserious the marketing for this movie is.
Oh, yeah, the Wheaties box.
The Wheaties box is killing me.
Also, Bucky taking his arm out of a dishwasher.
Yeah, that was great.
Love that.
Oh. How else are you going to clean it?
I was thinking that, like, this is silly, but, like, you got to wash it somehow.
And you got to disinfect it.
The look of the powers of the villain of the movie, like, everybody turning into, like, shadows. I was wild. Like, that's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And all they have is like guns, and they punch.
They shoot and punch.
Shoot and punch, and then we got one girl who can go through walls and turn invisible. That's it. That's all we got.
Oof.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
I don't remember what the next trailer is.
Speaking of action movies with actresses that Demi loves, Jurassic World Rebirth.
There it is.
Yo!
Yes. Dinos are back, baby.
Your baby girl is back.
The ultimate Marvel superhero, in my opinion.
Baby girl is Nicole Kidman, Gaby.
Yeah, get it right.
We come to this place for Southern.
No.
Exactly. Yeah. This one looks fun. I love the first Jurassic Park movie. I like the first Jurassic World movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the next two Jurassic World movies. This is a toss-up. We'll see what happens. I do really like that this particular Jurassic World movie looks more like a Jurassic Park movie. Like, it's got the adventure tone of the original Jurassic Park movie. I think that's where those movies need to go back to. It doesn't look like the sleek sci-fi technology of the Jurassic World movies that we've been watching. Like, no, we're going back into the jungle. We're going back into nature and environments. Also, that horror-esque sort of feeling of like, oh God, we can't let the dinosaurs find us.
That's my bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to with this movie. Outside of the fact that Scarlett Johansson is in it and Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala.
And I love Jonathan Bailey. He's playing a hot nerd.
The streets love a hot nerd.
They do.
But yeah, I forgot Mahershala was in this movie. And then I watched the trailer and now I care about it again. Because like, hey, Mahershala's in this movie. But there's a shot where just the one with the flare and that like sleep paralysis demon looking dinosaur is in the flare light. And then it cuts to, it's probably a cut like one of those trailer where they cut two scenes together to make it look like they're connected. But Scarlett Johansson was like, Duncan. And Kayla leaned over to me. We're like, we about to lose Duncan. Yeah, Duncan
about to lose Duncan.
If that was that scene, Duncan might not make it out the movie. But
Duncan looks like he's having too much fun for him to make it through this movie. Any character that looks like they're having that much fun at the beginning of a Jurassic Park movie don't make it till the end.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know we're going to get some cool dinosaur designs like the paralysis demon I just described.
I'm far more excited for it than I was when it was announced that they were making another Jurassic World movie.
I agree. Fair. I was like, ¿por qué? But...
Well, because it's Jurassic Park.
See, no, because they make money.
Make that dinosaur money, baby.
Make money.
Like the last two, I think all three of the Jurassic World movies made $1 billion, didn't they?
Yeah,
so much
they made money. Well, it helps that like little kids love them, and so parents take their small children. Yeah, and automatically that's 2 tickets.
This one's also being written by the guy who wrote the original Jurassic Park movie. So,
ooh, oh wow, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear. Maybe. Actually, nice. I know I'm about to watch it because Jonathan Bailey's in it. Why am I sitting here pretending like I'm not going to see it? I'm going to see it.
We love that you're self-aware.
Who knows? Maybe we'll do a Jurassic Park throwback.
That'd be dope. We should.
See,
who don't like dinosaurs?
I love that movie. I also love that book. Just to remind everyone, this was a book.
Yeah,
and there's only 2 of them.
So yeah, apparently, I got confused because like you said, they brought back the person who wrote the original Jurassic Park movie, and for a second I was like, did they do some necromancy on Michael Crichton? What happened?
Necromancy.
Well, funny enough, the guy who wrote the original Jurassic Park movie, he actually said that there was something that they wanted to do from the book that they wanted to put in the original movie, but they couldn't put it in the original movie. And so now that he's writing this one, they were like, oh, we can put that in this one instead. So
I wonder what part.
I wonder too. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that book anyway. Next trailer.
It's a good book. 10 out of 10 do recommend. My little cousin, he was like 7 when he read it, but like he was obsessed with dinosaurs. He was like, yeah, this is very accurate. And I'm like, you would know 7-year-old obsessed with dinosaurs.
Love that. Next trailer is The Accountant 2.
Hell yeah, let's go, Dallas. You and me. This is our movie.
It is. I'm so hyped.
Me too.
Me sent this trailer in the chat and I was like, I'm about to go watch Captain America in a couple days, whenever she's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. And then went to the movie yesterday. And the first trailer started, and I don't know what it was, but I went to the bathroom, and I was washing my hands, and I was like, I bet The Accountant 2 trailer's on right now. So I scurried back to my seat. I run into the theater, and there's John Bernthal. I was like, I know it.
Hell yeah. You didn't miss it, though.
Hyped.
You didn't miss it, though, friend.
So hyped.
Me too.
One thing I did miss, which is funny, because Kayla told me later when we were on the way home, she was like, oh yeah, J.K. Simmons is dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
I was like, that's a pretty big thing that I missed coming in from the bathroom.
Yeah.
But I know we're going to get him in scenes of like flashback and stuff like that. So
it's going to have him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's featured in the trailer prominently.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, this is a movie that Gaby, Kayla, and myself have all seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was it, but it's getting a sequel. So apparently it's not.
Yeah. Apparently more than just the 3 of us watched this movie.
So like, I'm trying to, from what I understand, it's a dude with autism kills a bunch of people, maybe?
No.
Maybe not no.
Okay, he does. He is capable of this. But it's a dude with autism that is essentially the accountant for like cartels and gun runners and
Hmm.
the worst of the worst, but that require a lot of cash money flow.
Yeah, they do money laundering. They run cash businesses. He does
Mhm.
accounting for their cover businesses, stuff like that. But he's
Gotcha.
also a regular accountant, so he like helps small business people.
Hmm.
It's a really nice like dichotomy between this really, really nice man and all these criminals that he works for.
Yeah.
But he's also capable of some wild stuff.
Yeah, his dad was like some sort of level
Military
of
man.
military
Mm.
and then trained his brother and him. There's a lot of layers to this story. And then at the end you're like, because at the first you're like, why is this so convoluted? And then at the end everything comes together.
hmm
There's like 3 or 4 subplots
Damn.
that also make the story more interesting. You're like, where's all this leading? Why are there several subplots? Who's friends with who? And then also there's like this adorable little romance between the accountant and this random like numbers person who's, I think she's also an accountant. No, yeah, she is. She's an accountant as well. And she's also like really excited about numbers, and he is too. And it's
Gabby's getting
so
really, really
cute.
into the weeds about the first movie, which is
I'm
not
so
what we're
sorry.
going to talk
It's
about.
so cute. I love
We're here for
it
the
so
trailer for the
much.
second movie. She's not in it. But
You know what's
yeah, she's
funny?
not.
No, wait, I'm wrong.
Mm.
Never mind. I was about to say, I think Ben Affleck and Anna Kendrick were supposed to do Focus together, but no, I think it was Ben Affleck and Kristen Stewart.
really,
That would have
Yeah.
been
very
weird.
different.
Oh yeah, that movie, like if you look at like there were 2 pairings cast before Will Smith and Margot Robbie, and those are all very different movies. Like
Yeah. Interesting. But this one, I'm so hyped because one of the things about that first movie is John Bernthal's in it, and he's in it a fair amount,
but not
like,
enough.
toward the end, I'm just like, I really would love a sequel where they team up, and that's exactly what this movie is, and
Yeah.
it looks great,
It looks like we're getting like the brotherly love story.
and it's funny. Like the bits in the trailer with them interacting are very funny. I'm rewatching Daredevil right now. John Bernthal is
Oof.
such an amazing actor. He's so
Which one?
freaking good. John Bernthal. I'm watching.
I
Daredevil.
just realized I have to start
Daredevil.
a rewatch of Daredevil because it's been years since I watched it. So now I'm like, oh wait, the new show's about to start. I definitely gotta get on that. Back to Focus real quick. The couple before Ben Affleck and Kristen Stewart were Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
That's funny.
that feels closer to me to Will Smith and
It's
Margot
still
Robbie.
different. It's still
In
different.
terms of it's still very different, but like
Yeah,
in
it's Crazy
terms of
Stupid Love.
like in terms of like, well, also no, they were in 3 movies together: La La Land, Crazy Stupid Love, and
about La La
Gangster
Land.
Squad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about Gangster Squad.
There was
Yeah.
a period of
Everybody
time
forgot
where it
about
was
Gangster Squad.
Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling were like the pairing. Which I wish we
watched
would go back to like doing that with certain actors. Give us the pairing. But yeah, Daredevil, you're probably on season 2 if you're talking about John Bernthal's acting.
Yes, we are nearing the end of season 2, and it's just like disrespectful to me that he didn't get nominated for that performance.
Yeah, is Cousin in season 2 or is he in?
He's
Cousin
in
is
Punisher.
In Punisher. Okay, that's what I thought.
But yeah, back again to the young 2. It's
I like
really
that
good.
we
And it has
all
a-
call him cousin. Like we don't call him
That's his
by
name.
his name. He is everybody's cousin now.
I don't remember that character's name, man, but I do remember Cousin.
It was Micro?
They're
it's
not
Micro.
even real Cousin.
Also, shout out to Cynthia Adai Robinson, who we are all a fan of. She's really good in the first one. I'm sure she's going to be really good in this one. Like her
Yeah.
kind of straight-laced, I really don't want to be involved with you criminal types.
But then you found out she was a badass.
Of course.
She was a little baddie when she was a kid. He's like, that gun tattoo, what was it? She was like, it was a 9mm.
Gabby is again talking about the first movie when I'm trying to talk about
I'm
this.
so sorry. Go ahead.
I'm referring to this trailer that we're talking about.
Yes, sir. Go
When
on.
she's like,
That
oh,
was-
I can't
it's-
believe she killed all those people. And
we can definitely talk about the first movie because no one else saw that movie.
yeah, you and I are
But maybe
gonna have
now
some
they'll
nice
go
time to talk
watch
about
it.
Maybe. Yeah, but she's like, oh, how could she kill those people? And then Bernthal's like, well, she didn't kill all of them. She's like, how do you know? And he just kind of looks at her. And I was like, do you always confess to murderer?
Murder the capital.
Murder-
He's like, I didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. I can't wait for their brother dynamic. It's going to be great.
I also like that they're all finally meeting each other because I don't think she met him in the first movie. I think she was just always
No.
behind him.
Yeah, I don't think she did. But yeah,
It's like when cultures collide.
we love it. But yeah, it looks dope. I'm going to see it. Hopefully a bunch of people see this one and we can get maybe a third one. I don't know. We'll see how this one ends. Taking a very big tonal shift from The Accountant 2 to our last trailer of the day, How to Train Your Dragon 2025.
I'm
AKA
excited.
cinnamon rolls.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna feel the same way that you do, Dallas, about like the Lion King remake, where it's just like it's just a remake of How to Train Your Dragon. I like How to Train Your Dragon. I'm probably gonna like this.
Exactly. Like if you give me another version of a movie I like, chances are I'm still going to like it. It's got the same story.
It's even got the same
awesome.
director.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that, I don't know what they call the giant beast in the first one, like the mega dragon or whatever. But
No me acuerdo.
it looks great and looks terrifying.
And Gerard Butler's there.
He is. And a bunch of other people. Mason, I never know how to say it. Is it Thames? Is it like the river?
Yeah, like the
Thames.
Thames.
Mason T. Little black phone boy. But yeah, also Julian Dennison, aka Firefish from Deadpool 2.
I'm also a fan of Nico Parker.
Yes, Nico Parker.
She's great. 10 out of 10. Love her.
AKA Dead Daughter from Last of Us.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know that character's name. I know
Sarah.
her Dead Daughter. Sarah, thank you.
Also Tandy Newton's daughter.
Yes, also a live daughter of Tandy Newton. The baby liked that joke. It also has Nick Frost, and I love Nick Frost. So I'm excited.
Who's Nick Frost playing?
I think he's what's his name?
He's not the uncle, but he's like the dad's buddy.
Yeah, dad's buddy. He's basically
Got
uncle.
it. Yes. Okay. Ya me acuerdo.
Yeah, that dude.
It looks like it's well shot too. Like even if it is like a shot for shot remake, like it looks like at least they're lighting it well. The CGI looks really, really good. The shots look really, really cool. The acting looks like it's gonna be good. If you liked How to Train Your Dragon, I think now it just comes down to a medium thing. Like, do you like animation? Do you like live action? Unless they drastically change the story in some way.
Which it looks like they were definitely not.
Which, to be fair, the movie is a drastic change from the original novel, from what I understand.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't be reading, so I couldn't tell you.
I didn't even know there was a novel.
Yeah, it's based on a book.
I heard about that.
Oh.
I've heard of books.
You've heard of them. You never read them, though.
Nope.
That's... You don't? What?
I mean...
Gabby, Dallas doesn't read.
We've talked about this.
I
don't read for leisure because I'm watching 11 TV shows right now.
Got it. You're right. You did name so many TV shows. I wondered how. Oof.
I don't really know.
Well, you get through a lot of TV shows because you're not reading 5 billion books like I am.
Exactly. I'm not reading kinky water books.
I feel like I watch almost as much TV as Dallas does, and I'm still managing to read a few books, though. So
yeah.
Not nearly as many as Gabby, though.
Y'all have more time than I do. Well, yeah.
That's so true.
My loophole is audiobooks.
Yeah. You're also raising a dinosaur.
Yeah. She's just screeching away.
We should have asked her for her opinions about Jurassic World.
We probably got some screeches in there.
She's just screeched more. She wanted to like be sitting next to me and like on the microphone, but nah.
She'll get there eventually. If this podcast goes long enough, then we'll start to get her like, saying little words into the thing other than just noises of horror.
Yeah, and if she ever learns English, just kidding, she will. She'll learn English.
I hope so, because that would suck for her father.
I mean, I learned English. I didn't speak a lick of English until I was like 3 or 4 years old. So she'll learn. She knows some English. She knows more than I did when I was her age.
Yeah, and who really needs to understand their father for the first 3 or 4 years of their life?
Sir.
They'll catch up at 5. It'll be all good. Send her to kindergarten, be like, you ready for your first day of school? She'll be like, I understood you, Daddy.
Hey, Dad, you remember that thing that we did when I was 3? I really appreciated it.
Let me catch you up on all my feelings I've had in the last 4 years.
Oh, no, her feelings are clear. It's just her words that aren't. I don't know if you can tell from the screech.
That's fair. That's a pretty clear screech.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon looks adorable. I love it so far. I really, really liked the first movie, and I love the soundtrack, and it looks like the soundtrack is like ever present, like that. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's just the same soundtrack, but with a bigger orchestra.
Yeah. Do, 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 do. Ugh. Just feels epic.
All right. That's it. That's the last one. We did it, guys, gals. We did it, ladies. We did it, ladies. We did it, everybody. Everybody listening.
Woo.
We did it, Force Fems.
Force Fem in the basement. Eh?
In the basement, wherever you are, wherever you Force Fems are.
If you guys are allowed to listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I hope they rescue you. It sounds like you guys are victims of a crime.
Get to watch movies. A curated selection of movies, but movies all the same.
But like, I saw the TV Glow.
That one wasn't mentioned, but that's because this takes place in like maybe a couple years ago. So I think before that came out, I'm sure that would be in the rotation.
Gotcha.
I'll have to reach out to the author and ask.
What a way to end it. Thank you, audience, for listening to all that. We love you. We love you, people. Thank you, Crown Digital. As always, Brandon and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing, putting us on YouTube, watching the movie review today. So it wasn't just me talking about how Cat popped out and showed niggas.
You're welcome.
Also, speaking of that movie.
There's an earthquake right now.
What?
Oh, just kidding. It wasn't an earthquake.
Just your
Never mind,
baby
go on.
swanton bombing up the couch.
No, it was my dog like scratching himself and it was shaking the whole couch.
It's not even a big dog.
I know. That's why I was like, it's got to be an earthquake. And then he stopped moving and I was like, oh.
Oh, I was going to say, also, I love that movie ended with I by Kendrick Lamar in the credits.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Thank you, Gaby, for talking to us about books and swimming and kinks and such.
And the accountant.
All the Gaby things. And the accountant. Yes.
Mostly the first movie.
Most of the first movie, but you caught him up. Because we're probably not going to have time to do a throwback for that. So thank you for catching up the audience.
I wish we could. That one, I love that movie. I can't explain how much I love that movie.
We'll watch it. You and me will watch it again sometime. Cassie, thank you for your 10-minute take. Thank you for giving us a new concept because none of us really knew about.
I still don't understand how you didn't know, but we swim in different seas. So
we swim in very different seas. Also, never mind. As always, audience, you can reach us in the comments if you want to talk to us. Please talk to us. Or you can hit us on Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, or TikTok at Creative Differences Pod. As established, we are not on Twitter because Elon Musk is a trash bag.
He is.
If you want to talk to me about the strange pattern of Harrison Ford playing terrible fathers, you can find me on Instagram or Letterboxd at a king named Simba.
If you want to talk to me about movies of any kind, you can find me on the Instagrams at Stegostoria.
Honestly, hit me up with some Force Fem Recs. I'm into that shit. You can find me on Blue Sky at Sassy Soothsayer.
Hey guys, I don't really do social media really anymore. So comment down below or comment on any of our social medias except for TikTok because I don't have access to our TikTok. Talk to us about what you thought about the movie, what you've been thinking about the state of Marvel, because that seems to be everybody's favorite discourse in the fandom. I probably disagree with you, but I would love to have a conversation with you about why.
Fun times. All right. Next time, who knows? We'll find out, and then we'll let you know when the episode comes out. Don't worry about it. Live life for the mystery. Anyway, it's been different. Bye.
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 Inspired by Cassie. If you had to curate a list of movies for someone who is tied up in a basement, what would be on your list?
Human Centipede. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah. I want to know why they're tied up in the basement. It better not be in my basement. Calling the cops.
I think
what were you gonna say, Cassie?
I feel like Barbarian would be good for that.
Ooh, good. See? We're on the same page.
Like I said, Human Centipede.
Wild, but I get
in the basement
I'm
during
sticking
that one, though.
to my answer. I'm calling the cops.
They're being held against their will, though.
Fair.
That's exactly why I'm calling the cops. Why are they here?
Demi doesn't want to play because she's boring.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
That's fair. I'm going to cater to the cinephiles who are hostages and say Room, not The Room.
Yeah.
Room.
Or
Room
maybe
is a great movie.
The Room double feature, just because that would be hilarious.